This is Matrix Lord 212, and I was discussing Doctor Who stuff with on Dr. Freedom's wall between Facebook and his channel about the 11th Hour, and I want to make a video about it because I've watched this episode I don't know how many times, and I always find new clues. Now, the last time I saw it, I thought I saw a weeping angel staring at Amelia, running into the house. Now, going back and talking with Dr. Freedom and then looking at the episode again, I've noticed a lot more things. And the fact that, I said this before, but notice how when the doctor was trying to, when he was hungry, basically, and Amelia was trying to feed him, and every single food that she gave him he didn't like. Now, he said he liked apples, and he had a craving for apples, and she hated apples, which could be directly tied with the fact that she's going to meet her end in the Big Apple, for some reason, or maybe not. But the thing I find very interesting is that the only food that he could eat without spitting up was fish fingers and custard. Now, here's the thing, and here's a weird theory I have on this. The cracks basically swallowed up a lot of people in the area. They swallowed up Amelia's parents, family, people from the post office, the ducks. There was very few people remaining. It was like a ghost town, basically. Who's to say that the cracks didn't swallow up the food too? I mean, it's a crazy theory, but when you think about it, but it could be that everything was staged, and all the food in the house was synthesized. What they thought was apples and stuff like that, because they needed the doctor to meet Amelia Pond. Now, the thing I find interesting is, you may think, oh, what are you, crazy? Why would that happen? There's nonsense. Okay, well, if you think that's nonsense, that's fine, but go back to the Gomp complex, and there's an episode, in that episode, the doctor eats an apple, and he doesn't spit it out, obviously. He said, new mouth, new rules, but guess what? He likes apples. Okay, and it was a real apple, so why didn't he spit it out? And you may think, oh, you're going on these tangents and everything. Well, not really, because she prays to Santa and not God, but yet there is a symbol of God on the side, which is very, very interesting. She thanks him for the fish. Now, why would you thank God for the fish? Unless, of course, she considers the silence fish, like fish people, and maybe the silence are watching over her, so she thanks him for the fish. It could be that, and of course she forgot that maybe the silence were her protectors. Who knows? Maybe the silence are protecting her from the weeping angels. Could be. And Dr. Freedom brought up something very, very important too, is that Prisoner Zero knew stuff that she shouldn't about the doctor. And this goes back to a big theory of mine, is that the weeping angels will touch Amy. Amy will go into the past and meet her younger self, touch herself, and that will create the first crack on her wall. Okay? And now Amy feels directly responsible for creating this whole scenario. And when her parents get erased and everybody else gets erased, she remains behind as Amelia's aunt to make sure, up until a certain point, that she's okay. Now, I think that this is the case because of all the people that were erased from time and getting sucked into the cracks, the only person that wasn't was her aunt, which could either be Amy or Riversong, because obviously somebody's watching over Amelia Pond, preventing her from getting hurt by Prisoner Zero or whoever. Okay, and don't forget too that the Alliance went to Amelia's house, Amy's house, and tried to gather some information to set a trap. So it could be that this whole thing since 11th Hour was a trap all along, because it just seems too perfect, if you ask me. Nothing makes sense. So, and maybe Rory's name badge is not a mistake, because if it was a mistake, I mean, here's the thing, they focused, like the doctor focused on his name badge. So, I mean, but that's something they could have edited too, like later on. So, I don't think anything's a mistake, really. And the fact that there's still no ducks in the duck pond, I don't think that's a mistake either. Because if it's some big key plot, you're not going to reveal it. You're just going to go on and make some stuff up and put it on these websites. But I do believe that the 11th Hour has clues. I mean, he looked at the crack and he says, oh, there's some cowboys in here. And he's like, well, not real cowboys. Or maybe. And that could be tied in with the town called Mercy, too. There's a lot of things going on, but I do believe that Amy will probably wind up in the 11th Hour. And when the doctor returns for Amelia, he doesn't really return for Amelia. He returns for Amy Pond to get her out of there because she don't belong there. Because we did see that, her laying in the garden, sleeping overnight, waiting for the doctor. And she hears the TARDIS sounds, but then she has no memory of the doctor returning. So it could be that the doctor returns and picks up Amy, and then they have their goodbyes. So, and we do know that, spoiler, get ready, that Rory does die of old age. So, and there's a funeral. So, something to think about. But all right, leave your comments below. Please subscribe and feel free to make video comments. All right, bye.